Here is a truth most of us never want to face. The greatest enemy of knowledge is not ignorance. It is the illusion of knowledge. As the philosopher Epictetus warned centuries ago, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. We walk through life with our minds already full of opinions, full of conclusions, full of the quiet certainty that we have it all figured out. And while our cup overflows, wisdom drips silently onto the floor, finding no room inside us. Today's story takes us to the mountains of old Japan, where a celebrated professor, a man overflowing with degrees, theories, and applause, climbs a stone path to meet a humble Zen master. He goes there to be admired. He returns, having learned the most important lesson of his life. And the entire teaching happens without an argument, without a lecture. Only a kettle, a cup, and a spill that changed everything. There is an ancient Zen saying drawn from this very tradition: empty your cup so that it may be filled. And as Zen teacher Shunryu Suzuki beautifully put it, in the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's mind, there are few. This story will show you exactly what those words mean, not as philosophy, but as a moment you can see, feel, and never forget. Socrates, one of the wisest men who ever lived, said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." By the end of this story, you may begin to wonder, what have I been too full to receive? So stay with this story until the very end. Listen with an open heart, not a full one. Because as the old proverb says, the loud mind hears nothing. And this story speaks only to those quiet enough to receive it. In the late 1800s, when Japan was changing fast, when trains cut through the rice fields and new universities rose in Tokyo, there lived a professor known across the entire country. He taught philosophy at the Imperial University. His lectures filled great halls. His books sat on the shelves of ministers and merchants. He could quote the thinkers of the West and the sages of the East in the same breath. People called him brilliant. People called him wise. And the professor, quietly and comfortably, agreed with them. But one subject troubled him. One word kept appearing in his books, yet always slipped away from him like water through his fingers. Zen. He had read everything written about it. He had studied it, explained it, and even lectured on it. Still, something about it remained out of reach. So one autumn morning, the professor made a decision. He would travel to the mountains and meet the famous Zen master Nan-in. He would finally add Zen to the long list of things he understood. The train carried him out of the city, past golden fields heavy with harvest. Then a cart took him to the foot of the hills. From there, he walked up a narrow stone path that wound through cedar and maple trees, their leaves burning red and orange in the afternoon light. With every step, the professor practiced. He prepared sharp questions and clever answers. He polished his opinions on emptiness, on wisdom, on the nature of the mind. He imagined the old master nodding, impressed by his knowledge. By the time the temple gate appeared between the trees, the professor was not coming to listen. He was coming to be admired. A young novice met him at the gate, a boy with a shaved head and quiet eyes. He bowed low and said, "The master is expecting you. Please, come." The professor smiled to himself. Of course he's expecting me, he thought. Everyone knows who I am. Inside the temple, Nan-in sat in a small room with paper walls. The evening light fell soft and golden across the floor. The master was old, his face folded with years, his robe simple and worn. Before him stood a low table, a small iron kettle, and 2 plain cups. The professor bowed quickly and sat down, and then, without waiting, he began to speak. He spoke of the books he had read, the theories he had built, the lectures he had given, on the very teachings this master had practiced his whole life. He explained Zen to the Zen master, its history, its meaning, its place among the great ideas of the world. Nan-in said nothing. He simply lifted the kettle and began to prepare tea, his movements slow and calm, as if the professor's words were rain falling on a distant roof. The professor kept talking. His opinions filled the small room the way smoke filled the closed house, pressing into every corner, leaving no space empty. Still, the master warmed the cups, measured the leaves, and waited. At last, Nan-in began to pour tea into the professor's cup. The tea rose, pale green and steaming in the cool evening air. It reached halfway. The master kept pouring. It reached the brim. The master kept pouring. And then it overflowed. Tea spilled over the edge, flooded the saucer, spread across the dark wood of the table, and dripped, tap, 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 onto the floor. The professor stared. Surely the old man would stop. Surely he could see. But Nan-in poured on, calm as still water. Finally, the professor could hold back no longer. "Master, stop! Can't you see? The cup is full. No more will go in." Nan-in set down the kettle. He looked at the professor, truly looked at him, and spoke for the first time that evening. "Like this cup," he said quietly, "you are full. Full of your own opinions, your theories, your conclusions. You came here asking about Zen. But how can I show you Zen unless you first empty your cup?" The room fell silent. The professor opened his mouth and found for once that he had nothing to say. All his clever questions sat uselessly in his mind. He looked at the overflowing cup, and he understood. The master had not made a mistake. The spill was the lesson. Every drop running over the edge was a word the professor had spoken. Every drop soaking into the floor was wisdom that could find no room inside him. He had climbed a mountain to receive something with both hands already full. Slowly, the professor bowed. Not the quick, proud bow of a famous man, but a deep one, the bow of a student. "Forgive me," he said softly. "I came here to speak. Please, teach me how to listen." Something gentle crossed the old master's face. Not quite a smile, but the beginning of one. He emptied the professor's cup, wiped it clean, and set it down between them. Then he poured again, slowly, stopping well before the brim. "Now," said Nan-in, "we can begin." That night, the professor did not lecture. He did not argue. He sat quietly as the lamp burned low, drinking plain tea with an old man, and learned more in that silence than he had in 20 years of speaking. In the morning, he walked back down the mountain as red and gold leaves drifted onto the stones. He carried no notes and no clever arguments, only one new question. What else am I too full to receive? In the years that followed, his students noticed a change. He spoke less and asked more. He listened to beginners as carefully as he listened to scholars. And on his desk, where his awards once stood, he kept a single object: a plain, empty teacup. When anyone asked why, he would only smile and say, "It reminds me of the day I learned the most important lesson of my life, by being told I knew nothing at all." For that was the truth the professor discovered in that moment beside the overflowing cup. A mind full of pride, opinions, and assumptions cannot receive true wisdom. Learning begins only when we become humble enough to listen. Think about that overflowing cup for a moment. The master never raised his voice. He never corrected the professor. He simply let him watch his own mind spilling over the table. Every drop, a word he had spoken. Every drop, a lesson that could find no room inside him. How many of us are living exactly like that professor? We enter conversations not to listen, but to reply. We hear advice and think, "I already know this." We meet people and judge them before they finish their first sentence. Our cups are full of pride, full of past experience, full of the need to be right. And an old truth remains. The fool thinks he is wise, but the wise man knows he still has much to learn. Lao Tzu wrote in the Tao Te Ching, "Empty yourself of everything. Let the mind become still." This is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength. It takes no courage to defend what you already believe. It takes tremendous courage to set it down and say, "Teach me, I may be wrong." Confucius understood this when he said, "Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance." The professor's education did not fail him that day. His ego did. As Ryan Holiday writes, ego is the enemy. It was ego that climbed the mountain and humility that walked back down, wiser, lighter, and finally able to learn. Notice what changed the professor's life. It was not a new book or a new theory. It was a single act of letting go. There is a Zen proverb that captures this perfectly. Knowledge is learning something every day. Wisdom is letting go of something every day. Knowledge fills the cup. Wisdom empties it. And both are necessary, but only one of them creates space for growth. So here is what you can practice starting today. First, in your next conversation, speak less and ask more. Remember, the greatest lesson begins the moment we stop proving ourselves. Second, when someone corrects you, pause before defending yourself. That pause is where wisdom enters, because true wisdom begins when pride becomes silent. Third, approach something familiar, your work, your relationships, even your own beliefs, as if you were seeing it for the very first time. That is the beginner's mind. That is the empty cup. Steve Jobs left the world with 4 words that echo this entire story. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Stay hungry enough to keep learning. Stay foolish enough to admit you don't know everything. Because the moment you believe your cup is full, that is the exact moment you stop growing. The professor kept an empty teacup on his desk for the rest of his life. Maybe we all need one, not on our desks, but in our hearts. Now I want to hear from you. What is one belief, one habit, or one piece of pride you are ready to empty from your cup today? Share it in the comments below. Your honesty might give someone else the courage to empty their cup too. We create these wisdom stories for all of us. The truth is, most of us are already wise enough to know these lessons. But somewhere in the busyness of life, we have forgotten them. Through these stories, we simply try to bring back a little hope, a smile, some happiness, and a moment of joy into your day, by awaking the real wisdom buried in your heart. And for that, we need your support. If this story brought even a small light into your heart, please like this video and share it with the world, because happiness increases when shared and sorrow lessens when divided. Joy shared is joy doubled. Sorrow shared is sorrow halved. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so these timeless stories can keep finding their way back to all of us. I'll be back again with another powerful story. Until then, be patient, stay grateful, and remember, empty your cup so that it may be filled. Keep your mind open, keep your heart humble, and life will never stop teaching you.